The night hung heavy over Wayne Manor, a familiar cloak of darkness for Bruce Wayne, sitting in his opulent library. Another night in Gotham, another dead end in his relentless pursuit. He brooded, the smoke from his pipe curling like his thoughts, reflecting on the elusive villain he was tracking. This time, the foe was careful, hiding below the surface, but Bruce had planted seeds, watching their intentions unfold in the fabric of society. He pieced together the puzzle: a shipment of Neostigmine H2O at Gotham University, a missing pallet from the Robinson Botanical Gardens, 500 gallons stolen from Maison Pharmaceuticals. It all pointed to one thing: a new Joker venom, enough to devastate a small country. He had to find him, now. But a creeping realization set in. How many times had he seen this pattern before? Some foes, he knew, fall too often, but he wasn't that kind of billionaire. They always came without warning. Just as the thought crossed his mind, a deafening crash ripped through the stillness of the night. A figure, crimson and black, explosively burst through the massive circular window, shards of glass scattering like lethal rain. Silhouetted against the full moon, the intruder landed with predatory grace. "Playtime's over, Wayne!" a distorted voice bellowed. Bruce Wayne, still in his silk robe, looked up, his face a mask of shock, but his eyes quickly hardened. "Let me see those hands," he commanded, already rising to meet the threat. Bruce was on his feet in an instant, confronting the bizarre red-clad assailant who wielded two katanas. "Neostigmine?" Bruce questioned, already connecting the dots. The mercenary, unfazed by the sudden confrontation, only offered a flippant, "Oh wow, this is embarrassing." Bruce's patience was thin. "I'm going to ask this once. Who the hell are you?" The mercenary just chuckled. "Oh, you don't know me? It's okay. I've heard that from around 8 other people I've embarrassed." Bruce internally mused that he thought he was about to fight some aggressive sidekick in a silly robe. The mercenary introduced himself. "They call me Deadpool, also the Merc-with-a-Mouth, and I came. I got paid, because I'm hilarious and have no other reason." He added, "Anyone who tells you different is lying, or I was really drunk." Bruce, deadpan, responded, "Totally." He quickly deduced, "So yeah, a hired thug for money, in town for a job." Deadpool quickly clarified, "Don't worry, you're not the guy I'm freaking out." Bruce confirmed, "I'm not." Deadpool then tried to expand his mission. "I want to double dip while I'm in Gotham looking for some dirtbag who might be the same person whose friends have disappeared." Bruce, intrigued, asked, "Which brings me to you." "Not interested," Deadpool retorted. "Oh, come on. I heard billionaire Bruce Wayne is blasted all over the city." Bruce challenged, "You don't have anything worth silencing?" Deadpool, with an air of mock injury, just looked at Bruce, who coolly stated, "I'm not that kind of billionaire." Bruce, ever the strategist, changed tactics. "Okay, then who's that?" he asked, as Alfred Pennyworth, ever the picture of dignified calm, entered the chaotic library. Deadpool, undeterred, immediately started in on the butler. "Your butler? Oh boy, he's probably never hosed blood and brains out the back of an Aston Martin." "Sure," he continued. "I bet you made him call you Master Bruce, didn't you? You sick children." Bruce stared, incredulous. "What kind of sick mind do you think you're talking to? A baby?" Deadpool, clearly bored, decided to leave. "Whatever. If you can't respect me enough to have an honest conversation about your weird and shameful proclivities, I'm out of here." As Deadpool turned, Bruce cut him off. "Excuse me?" Deadpool, seemingly to himself, mused about Batman. "Some guy who dresses like a bat? Which I'm pretty sure is so scary even though it's so hilarious." He confessed, "Sounds made up. I'm getting paid a lot of money to hunt him down." Bruce, with a knowing glint in his eye, simply stated, "You may find that difficult." He thought to himself, "Batman is at home in the shadows. No one ever finds him unless he wants to be found." Deadpool, still perched within the shattered window frame, looked out into the night. "I'm sorry," he began, then stopped dead as a colossal beam of light cut through the sky, projecting a familiar symbol. "What the hell is that?" Bruce, a hint of a smirk playing on his lips, played coy. "You don't think it's some kind of—" Deadpool finished his thought. "I don't know," Bruce prompted. "Bat call or something, do you?" Then, with a theatrical flourish, he confirmed, "Of course not. It's a bat signal." Deadpool's eyes widened, then gleamed with manic glee. "Bat signal! Oh wow, he's for real! This guy is serious! His job is going to be easy!" With that, the Merc-with-a-Mouth launched himself out the window, a blur of red and black against the moonlit sky. "See ya, sicko!" he yelled back. Bruce watched him go, a subtle plan already clicking into place. I guess I'm going back up," he murmured, turning from the destruction. High above the city, on the Gotham City Police Headquarters rooftop, Commissioner James Gordon stood silhouetted against the iconic bat signal, its light piercing the night. He was clearly exhausted, letting out a weary shuff, huff, huff. The helly. From an adjacent ledge, Deadpool observed, still confused. Is this the guy Batman?" he wondered aloud. Gordon, looking tired but resolute, spoke to himself. "That's close enough. James Gordon, Gotham City PD." Deadpool descended onto the rooftop, immediately launching into his usual irreverent banter. You don't need to tell people you're the Santa Claus of Gotham. I see the whiskers from the corner of your lip. He leaned in conspiratorially. Let me guess. Grizzled by your own rules. Still sneak a smoke between panels? Gordon, barely fazed, simply said, You sound like my dad. Deadpool, never missing a beat, retorted, Bet I've got as much hair on my butt too. Gordon sighed. Batman's busy, so I'm off my building. Deadpool, briefly contrite, added, I'm sorry, I didn't realize you and Batman were best buds, if you see. Gordon, however, was in no mood for pleasantries. I guess I'm a maladjusted person with no moral compass. I've worked Gotham long enough to know a scumbag when I see one. Deadpool, a little put out, announced, I'm in a hurry too. Gordon, cutting him off, warned, Looks, and since it sounds like a mild breeze off an old whore's breath, don't you skedaddle before your little mouth starts showing. Deadpool challenged, You don't want to hear that, Gordon finished with a stern, Son. Deadpool, pulling out a gleaming katana, asked, Oh yeah? Why's that? Gordon, with a steely gaze, simply replied, Oh, that's a good tingle. Suddenly, with a dramatic rush of wind and cape, Batman himself descended, a dark, avenging angel. With a powerful, unexpected GURP, he landed a devastating punch directly on Deadpool, sending one of his katanas clattering away. Batman's voice, deep and resonant, echoed across the rooftop. Welcome to Gotham. Batman stood over a momentarily stunned Deadpool, who quickly recovered. Holy hell, Batman! Your voice! You're terrifying! You're just like they said! But the bat thing! It works! Deadpool, ever the showman, declared, I know! Batman, stoic as ever, retorted, I know the voice! So effective! Deadpool, bouncing back, decided to escalate. It's a shame I have to beat your ass! He launched himself at Batman with a yell of, Hi-ya! Batman, anticipating the move, thought, I think you mean, and met Deadpool's attack with a precise, powerful block, a sharp Kia, resounding with a Krah! Ow! Deadpool grunted, his arm caught. Batman, holding him, stated, So you're slightly better than me at Krav Maga. Deadpool, struggling, retorted, Too bad I brought my own. Batman, his eye gleaming with grim determination, thought, So did I. With a series of swift, brutal moves, skirt, 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 Batman disarmed Deadpool, his katana falling to the ground. A boom of smoke engulfed Deadpool, who yelled, Gah! But before Batman could fully react, Deadpool, shrouded in the smoke, produced 2 pistols and began firing wildly. Okay, I didn't want to use these bullets. I heard they'd make you cry out, he taunted through the FWP, 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 FWP of gunfire. Then, as the smoke cleared, he found himself alone. Huh? He muttered, Batman having vanished as quickly as he appeared. Batman reappeared directly behind Deadpool, making him jump. Okay, wait, you're just gonna leave after all that? I mean, through? You said you were obsessed with me. Batman coolly stated, I never said that. Deadpool, ignoring him, continued. Look, we all want to know who the one of us would win. But Batman, I just learned each of your minds. That is clear. Batman countered, clear to who? Deadpool tried to explain, what I'm trying to say is, I can't bring myself to hurt you, Batman. He caught himself, correcting his statement. Batman, unfazed, simply clarified, at no point was I in danger of being murdered. Commissioner Gordon, stepping forward, interrupted the bizarre exchange. This idiot wasted enough of our time, Batman. We have bigger fish to fry. He revealed the grim news. The Joker sent a message. He's giving us 6 hours to find him before he unleashes 5 tons of Neostigmine on Gotham City unless we deal with him. Gordon explained the Joker's method. Every chemical he needed was stolen from Gotham on August 8th. He's making a new kind of serum. Deadpool chimed in. He was. Gordon then elaborated on the clues. You freaks are obsessed with cosmic psychic vibes, aren't you? Deadpool retorted, not that's her business. Gordon continued, but a full moon. They come in my line of work. Moonlight. No flashlights call attention to a heist. That's right. Tides get lower too. Hyde's caves open up in case you need to bury a body. Deadpool, ever the pragmatist, added, or something else. Batman, acknowledging the severity of the situation, simply uttered, Gordon, get me a map, Batman instructed. Gordon spread out a detailed map of Gotham's sprawling coastline. Ship graveyards, mostly abandoned because of rising sea levels, he explained. Over half of them big enough to be the Joker's hideaway, and we have less than 6 hours to search them all. He pointed out, it'll be hundreds of caves, only accessible at low tide. Deadpool, ever helpful, blurted out, Help! I can eat that one! Up north in that little tiny thingy! Gordon, ignoring Deadpool, focused on a specific point. Next to Piccadilly Pier, the only funny cave cave and hit the 30-minute window. I wait for the tide to go down. Batman, skeptical, admitted, I'm telling you, I've never seen a silly cave that looked right there. Deadpool, however, was already connecting the dots. Wait, are you thinking what I'm thinking? It takes a madman. He offered himself up with, let's just say I'm available. This is great. Gordon, seeing the grim reality, sighed. We are running out of options. Then, with a look of utter disbelief at Deadpool, he added, you can't be serious. Later, the sleek, powerful Batmobile roared through the dark streets, Batman at the wheel. In the passenger seat sat Deadpool, his mask now removed, revealing a grotesquely scarred face. Bumpy ride. You should use the grave. I hear they pave all their potholes, Deadpool quipped. That was a joke, he added quickly. Batman, without looking, replied, don't worry, there's more where that came from. Deadpool, ever curious, asked, but seriously, I'm getting beat up if this thing was for two. Eh? Batman, his voice a low growl, stated, I work alone unless I have a Robin. Ah, yes, the boy wonder, Deadpool mused. Fighting crime with a little young boy? Safe to say I've already heard every jokes you can tell about that. Deadpool, pulling out a strange green mask that mimicked Batman's cowl but covered his disfigured mouth, declared, that's what I thought. Saves me some time. He then added, for my part, thank you not to reveal my identity under my mask. Batman, with a hint of a smile, countered, I wouldn't know where to start. He then produced a small gas pellet. It's bad business, this misshapen puss, is my way of saying. For my own humor, pal. Same disguise gave me both. He elaborated, which is why I don't have to beat you. I only had to get you into an enclosed space. With a sudden pshaw, Batman released the gas directly into Deadpool's face. Sorry, buddy, a job's a job, Deadpool gasped, before his head crashed through the windshield with a crack. Gah! He cried out. Batman calmly reassured him. Relax, the gas won't kill you. I'll be the DD. Deadpool, dazed and confused, stumbled out of the car, yelling, wait, is it a stick? I can't drive a...